That's BlueNile.com to find the perfect jewelry gift for any occasion. BlueNile.com.
And welcome back to the Lisa Wexler Show. Jonathan Steinberg was first elected to serve as state representative in the 136 in 2010. He's serving his fifth term. The district includes most of Westport. He currently serves as the House chair of the legislator's Public Health Committee. Jonathan, is that right? I'm looking at your bio.
No, that was
last year, right? Yeah, that was a while ago.
Energy and technology for the last.
That's right. We got to update your bio here. You serve as chair of energy and technology. You're a member of a lot of other caucuses and committees as well. And I know that the bioscience community in Connecticut very much follows everything you're doing as well. So, Jonathan, welcome back to the show. Hello.
Thank you. I hadn't expected, though, to be following Stormy Daniels. And I just wanted to make the point that when the jury has to consider guilt or innocence, you should also look at the potential motivation and the way he chose to pay off Stormy Daniels using Michael Cohen. Do you really think it was because he was afraid his wife was going to look at his checkbook if he did it himself? Or was it because he felt he needed to conceal it and call it something else, which suggests who is he hiding it from? And it wasn't from his wife. It was from the authorities. He knew he was doing something wrong. That's why he used Michael Cohen. That's why he claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen off for something other than what it was. So that looks like awareness of criminality.
So if you were on the jury, it looks like it would be an easy case for you, Jonathan.
Well, I'm biased, I have to confess.
So there it is. I'm trying not to be. I'm just explaining what the law is on the show. You know that, Jonathan. I keep my opinions to myself about all that stuff. It would be inappropriate for me to comment on a pending case, except to explain what it is.
Your show is you encourage all sorts of opinions.
I do. I really do. And I was following with great interest when Eversource, it was shocking to me, actually said that they were going to withdraw $500 million, $100 million a year from capital improvement in the state of Connecticut. Did they really expect that the legislators and the governor and the people of the state of Connecticut were going to warm up to what appeared to be almost an extortionary threat when they are given a monopoly? I was just astounded by that, Jonathan.
I have to confess, and I work with Eversource all the time, as you might expect, as chair of the committee. I don't get their strategy. It doesn't really add up unless you make certain assumptions. I happened to run into Mark Pazniakis from the Connecticut Mirror right after I had read the call they had with regard to their financial situation, where they said everything was great, but they were cutting back in the state of Connecticut. And their argument has been for some time that they can't afford to invest in Connecticut because we have a different regulatory environment which actually holds them accountable. Instead of being basically paid for whatever they ask for, in the state of Connecticut, under our new performance-based regulatory environment, they actually have to do a good job, and they have to do it in a timely manner, and they don't like that. So they got it into their heads, we surmise, that the only way that they would get out of this is if they could get rid of the chair of the Public Utility Regulatory Authority, who has brought in this new regimen, Marissa Gillette, who is really brilliant and incredibly capable and has really brought some great change to Connecticut. They keep saying it's not personal. They keep saying it's not about our PBR system, but they're trying to get rid of her. And they have gambled. They're all in on getting rid of her. And that's why when Pazniakis came to me, I said there's only one way to eliminate these games they're playing, which is for the governor, as we've asked many times, to commit to reappointing the chair of the Public Utility Regulatory Authority, which would take her status off the table. And I ran into him just after that downstairs at an event, and I said right to his face, you've got to commit. And within an hour, he had, in a press conference, admitted to Pazniakis. By the way, I wasn't the only one urging him by any stretch. He said, okay, I commit to reappointing her, which will happen next year, which really puts Eversource in a corner because they've been all in. They've gambled everything on getting rid of her.
Isn't that ridiculous?
And now they're saying they're not going to make any investments in Connecticut. Where do you go from there?
Where do you go from there? I'll tell you where we go. As a consumer, the first thing that I would do would be to look at whether or not we should, in light of that announcement, put out for a bid some kind of competitive situation where someone other than Eversource gets a chance to do what Eversource does. We grant them a monopoly, right?
Yeah, my co-chair has made it clear that we are going to examine the terms of their franchise. And they could argue perhaps they don't need to be making huge proactive investments, so those are critically important, but they have an obligation as part of their franchise, their pseudo-monopoly, to maintain the grid in a reliable fashion. And we all know they've done a pretty poor job of that over the years after every storm. So they're threatening not to go forward with projects that are critical for upgrading the grid. They are in violation of their franchise. And we're fully within our rights to look at others. Now, it may not be as easy as all that to switch out electric companies, but it's now on the table, and they put themselves in this corner. Our surmise is that they're actually in bad financial shape, that they're trying to sell off the Aquarian Water Company they purchased not all that long ago because they're desperate for money. They may be pretty good in Massachusetts, but in Connecticut, they have made bad bets on offshore wind investments and the like. And we suspect they're really in much worse shape than they're letting on to their shareholders.
That's interesting because they have been, over time, one of the most successful for-profit energy stocks. I mean, I looked them up, in terms of utility stocks, utility stocks.
And utility stocks are hot right now. They need to project the sense of stability. And I think they're doing just the opposite.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, and I'm here with Keith, co-star of my upcoming film, If, only in theaters May 17th. Do you want to tell people the big news? All right, I'll do it. Sign up now and you'll get unlimited for $15 a month and 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan on us. MintMobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 equivalent to $15 per month. Unlimited over 40 gigabytes per month. Face lower speeds. Videos at 480p. Active Mint customers by 531.24 get 6 months of Paramount Plus Essential Plan. Auto renews after 6 months. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Separate Paramount Plus registration required. Terms and conditions apply if rated PG.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Randy.
Since we founded Bombas, we've always said our socks, underwear, and T-shirts are super soft. Any new ideas?
Maybe sublimely soft.
Or disgustingly cozy.
Wait, what?
I got it. Bombas. Absurdly comfortable essentials for yourself
and for those facing homelessness.
Because one purchased equals one donated.
Wow, did we just write an ad?
Yes.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase.
That's so interesting. We're chatting with Jonathan Steinberg at 203-333-9422. Jonathan, related to that, and I don't know if you had a hand in this, but there was a bill that did pass with respect to the Siting Council. And I'm mentioning that in the context of talking about Eversource because the UI monopole controversy, which isn't just in Fairfield and Bridgeport, but it's been popping up in Shelton. I hear there's one in Weston. There's these monopoles that are popping up all over. They have caused a tremendous amount of consternation to residents of Connecticut who've banded together, and the town of Fairfield and the city of Bridgeport have tried to intervene. But you made some changes as a legislature to the Siting Council. Were you involved with that?
Yes, I was one of the prime movers on that. The E&T committee had a bill. There were 3 other committees that also had bills. The fact that 4 legislative committees all chose to focus on the Siting Council shows how much attention they've drawn with what's going on in Bridgeport and Fairfield. We worked very collaboratively with the administration and with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. We worked on a bill. I'm very proud of that bill. We both strengthened the hand of the Siting Council and also made sure there was more local input. So we ended up in a very good place, and I'm very pleased the bill finally passed the Senate on the last day.
Is it going to make a difference in this controversy?
Probably not, in the sense that, UI had kind of followed the rules in the Fairfield-Bridgeport situation. The leaders of both communities kind of dropped the ball a little bit and, could have engaged earlier on. So it may be hard to change anything with that in that UI followed the law. But suffice it to say, going forward, and there will be other projects, it will be different.
And one other thing, Jonathan Steinberg, before I let you go, I see that you're co-chair of the Bioscience Caucus. Can you educate us, tell us a little bit about the development of bioscience as a hub, as an employment hub in Connecticut? What's happening?
Well, it's something that we looked at years ago. Connecticut, ever since it lost its manufacturing base in the 80s, We've been looking for industries in which we can have a distinctive advantage.